Mary, that was a beautiful, inspirational story that you told on the proof stage. I have a couple questions regarding the story. What made you just feel like your dad wasn't your dad?
I can honestly tell you that having a memory of being 4, which is that memory is very, very clear, I simply have the memory. So what causes someone to say something like that and then remember it? I was on the airplane coming over here and was reading on United Airlines magazine that Gloria Estefan had a similar circumstance. There's an article about her when she was 3 years old, apparently. She told her daddy, they were on the beach, that she was going to buy him a hotel. And she did. How do you explain a 3 or a 4 or a 7-year-old having that kind of knowledge and explain having that come just out of a child? I can't answer that, except other than I know it's your inner essence, it's who you really are, it's your heart.
That just reminded me when I was a kid, I promised my dad I would get him a Jaguar. Hasn't happened yet. So the significance of the rose, can you tell us a little bit about that, the inspiration?
Yes, I would love to. In part of our work with Imagine Miracles, it's a very critical piece to learn how to get in touch with your essence, your energy, your vibration. And we teach a process for starting to uncover that all the way through some really deep uncovering work. And the rose was what came through my work with Vince facilitating the same work that we do with other people. The rose was a exemplification of my essence.
That's beautiful. So tell us a little bit about what your perfect day looks like in terms of serving the world, serving your purpose and your roles, and how can that manifest itself in the perfect day?
So to me, a perfect day would be to really feel good. And if I were to have lower vibrational feelings in a day, then I would love to know in the moment and in review at the end of the day that I was able to raise my vibration and hold that during that day. So that would be my number 1. My number 2 in serving people would be to really know when I can look in someone's eyes and I can see their essence, I can really feel that their heart was touched and their heart could be opened.
So color has a significance for you in terms of the way you feel and the way you see. Can you share with us a little bit about what the meaning of color is for you?
Yes, I can't imagine my life without color. So I have a very strong communication system with my inner guidance that speaks to me through color, actually. So as you heard, I hear voices that are more on my ego personality side. And so I believe what's happened is my essence, my higher self, communicates with me through color so that I can distinguish between what I'm being shared and what I am living with in my egoic mind, which I hear actually quite clearly, those words. Also, color has become, from a very young age, color has been probably one of the most important things in dressing. So I'm really not as worried about what's in style or what's up to date, but how do people dress in their natural color palette to really match their essence, their vibration with all the available colors that we have in this world, whether they're extremely saturated or they're muted, and then the combinations that you can put these colors together through clothing and interiors as well. And I use nature as the best guide, because if you think of a desert landscape in contrast to white peaked mountains in Canada with the green strength of trees and the blue lake, you can feel just in those two pictures the difference that nature is showing us, the personality, the essence, and the form and function of just those two pictures that we see.
It's amazing when you open your eyes and you look outside into nature, even a walk in the woods where everything's brown and green, but if you really start looking at the different color palettes and how everything fits together, it's absolutely a miracle. When was the first time that you were really drawn to this gift of understanding and feeling color?
It would have to be, I was, I believe, 17, maybe 16 years old, and my mother was a lecturer, and we were living in California, and she hired Suzanne K. Gill, who is the grandmother of colors, long before Color Me Beautiful, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I had the privilege of meeting Suzanne K. Gill. And the minute I was in the presence of this woman who was, quite the master, quite eccentric, I was just drawn to the work she was doing with color. And she's the one that created the seasons, the typing, the season typing, which has now evolved into actually a much greater, deeper work, including psychology. But that's when I would say that I was like, wow, I have to understand more about how to use color in my life and express that. And then over the years, the using of color in expression has developed into how I help people use color in their lives.
And how do you do that?
So one of probably truly my passion is working with people in helping them really discover and uncover who they are, what their essence is about, and then how to communicate that through color and their clothing. And one of Suzanne K. Gill's apprentices, who is now a master at this, and her name is Carla Mathis, and I have to, a shout out for Carla Mathis. But Carla brought to me and trained me that there is an actual science to how the human body is put together. There's actual sacred geometry in us, and Carla shows the symmetry and how we are actually put together unique to us, just like we talk about our purpose and our talents and gifts are unique to who we are as individuals. So are our bodies and how we are put together, how there's proportion between the head length that you have all the way down to your toes, and how you can dress proportionately to make the mind of your receiver, your audience, settle when they sit with you. Like, am I distracted by something odd about something you're wearing, whether it's a color or it doesn't go together in my estimation, right? Or maybe it's just out of balance with the mathematics of your body.
So tell me a little bit about the work that you and your husband Vince are doing, and I know a little bit of the backgrounds, and I want the audience to know your role in terms of the creation and the door opening that you had a huge part in that. Do you want to share with the audience a little bit about how all that began?
Oh, yeah, of course. I would love to. Well, first of all, there's no doubt for both of us that Vince and I were put together on purpose. There's a great story behind it. There's no doubt. And we both came together at a very complicated time in both of our lives. So there was so much going on. But to get to the point, what I feel my role and what I brought to our relationship and to our company, Imagine Miracles, is an energetic vision. So not that Vince didn't, I'm not saying that, but there is definitely something that I can tune into to hold space, to see the beginning, middle, and end of energy. And I can't really define that further than that. It's just a very deep knowing. We have had lots of opportunities where we've had to hold space in transformation for people. And while Vince is expressing his talents and gifts by teaching and leading and being a motivator, often my best role is to observe and watch what's happening, sometimes holding the space very quietly in the background, and then sometimes it's actually a very active role of holding space where something needs to be said, all the way to the middle where it's just a touch. And I'm learning to trust that and really step into that role.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So the famous proof question in 3 words, what is your meaning of life?
I love that question. Of course, the 3 words for meaning of life would have to be vibration, energy, and essence.
Vibration, energy, and essence. Can you put a little bit more meat around that for us?
So I would say that we are all energy.
Yeah.
The uniqueness within the big pot of energy that we all express and feel here on Earth is, shall we say, identified by your essence, and then how you live your joy on Earth, and in many cases find your joy on Earth, is through vibration.
Beautiful.